President Joe Biden has confirmed that they have killed the leader of Al Qaeda, Ayman al Zawahiri, in a drone strike in Afghanistan. He was killed in a counter-terrorism operation carried out by the CIA in the Afghan capital Kabul on Sunday. Osama bin Laden and him are believed to have plotted the 9/11 attacks together, and he was one of America's most wanted terrorists. Joe Biden said al Zawahiri had carved a trail of murder and violence against American citizens. The FBI updated its most wanted terrorist poster on Monday with Zawahiri's status as deceased. But who exactly was Ayman al Zawahiri? A permanent feature on the US's most wanted terrorist list, this 71-year-old Egyptian doctor took over Al Qaeda after the death of bin Laden in 2011. After the September 11 attacks, the US State Department offered a reward of up to $25 million for information leading directly to the apprehension and conviction of al Zawahiri. He is believed to have been involved in some of Al Qaeda's biggest terrorist operations, helping to organize the 2001 attacks when airliners hijacked by Al Qaeda were used to kill 3,000 people in the US. There he was charged for his role in the August 7, 1998 bombings of the US embassies in Tanzania and Nairobi. US President Joe Biden said that he authorized a precision strike in the Afghan capital Kabul to kill al Zawahiri with 2 Hellfire missiles. The drone strike on Saturday was approved after weeks of meetings with advisors, according to American officials. 11 years after the killing of his counterpart and close friend Osama bin Laden in Pakistan, al Zawahiri has become the public face and voice of the terrorist group in many recordings. A videotape aired by Al Jazeera Network in 2003 showed al Zawahiri and bin Laden walking on a mountainside. Born in the Egyptian city of Giza in 1951, al Zawahiri had just turned 71 when he was killed during a visit with relatives, according to the US president. His killing came 1 year after the US withdrew its troops from Afghanistan and brought an end to a 20-year occupation. He came from a well-to-do family of physicians, distinguished Muslim scholars and academics. One of his grandfathers was the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, the highest seat of learning in Sunni Islam. His maternal grandfather was a president of Cairo University. One of his 2 brothers, Muhammad, is a dermatologist and his twin sister, Heba, is an oncologist. Al-Zawahiri himself studied ophthalmology at Cairo University and worked as an eye surgeon for several years in the clinic in Cairo's Mahdi suburb. In his teenage years, he was much influenced by Sayyid Qutb, the lead ideologue of the group whose extremist theories inspired generations of terrorists. Qutb was hanged in 1966 in connection with an attempt on the life of Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser. Despite a reputation for an inflexible and combative personality, al-Zawahiri managed to nurture loosely affiliated groups around the world that grew to wage devastating insurgencies and attacks. The terrorism destabilized a number of countries across Asia, Africa, and even the Middle East. The first time the world heard of al-Zawahiri was when he stood in a courtroom cage after the assassination of Egyptian President Anwar al-Sadat in 1981. Al-Zawahiri served a 3-year jail term for illegal arms possession but was acquitted of the main charges. He then went to Pakistan on his release, where he worked with the Red Crescent, treating Mujahideen wounded in Afghanistan fighting Soviet forces. During that period, he became acquainted with bin Laden, who had joined the Afghan resistance. Taking over the leadership of a militant group in Egypt in 1993, al-Zawahiri was a leading figure in a campaign in the mid-1990s to overthrow the Egyptian government. More than 1,200 Egyptians, mostly police officers, were killed. The Egyptian authorities took action against the jihadi group after an attempt on President Hosni Mubarak's life in June 1995 in Ethiopia. Al-Zawahiri soon responded by ordering attack on the Egyptian embassy in Islamabad. 2 cars filled with explosives crashed through the compound's gates, killing 16 people. In 1999, an Egyptian military court sentenced al-Zawahiri to death in his absence, but clearly that never happened until now, when he was killed by the American troops who considered him their enemy number 1. Let us know your thoughts on this latest very important development that's coming from all the way in Afghanistan.